Hey, what's up? I'm Alex.
I'm Jack.
We are one half of All Time Low, and you are on NME.com. I think Baltimore is just a really unique city in that it's always sort of been kind of an under the radar city, but at the same time, it's got really big things going for it. You know.
When we first started, sorry to interrupt. When we first started,
Please.
Our local scene was so big. There are so many bands at our high school. There's so many bands at the surrounding high schools that we had a show to play every week. You know, we could be on a local show.
It definitely helped us launch ourselves.
Yeah.
You know.
And it kind of created this community of bands trying to do it for a career. You know, try to be a real band. But
and I think it created like a good kind of competition too when we were coming up in it. There was sort of there were these like friendly rivalries between all the bands of just kind of like, we're not going to be here forever. We're going to be the ones that get out, you know, and do it. And so it was cool to come up in that. But yeah, like you said, there's been this like sneaky music scene in Baltimore for years, and it continues to happen. You know, I think one of the cool things about it is that it's a really eclectic dynamic. It's not just one thing that comes out of Baltimore. I think, you know, there was a big folk movement at one time, and now there's a really cool indie scene there, and there's just all these kinds of things going on. You know, I think OAR is even from the area, so you get kind of like a jam band-ish vibe as well. So it's all over the place, which is cool. I think it's nice to have a town because it's not known for music. So it's cool to have a dynamic like that. It's definitely got a really rad kind of underground art scene, I would say.
I feel like, to be honest though, like I'm actually not too familiar with that scene, because really as soon as we were 18 and could live on our own, we started touring.
Yeah, I mean,
we were gone for a couple years, and we came back to Baltimore, and we're like...
It's definitely a little different for us because we weren't in that situation where we moved in because of those reasons. We were just sort of there and grew up in it. So I think to us it never really seemed that way. It was just the norm. And then as we got older and this band started actually doing things, we weren't home. So we didn't grow up around it so much. But looking in from the outside, it's definitely one of those towns that, you know, it's not in LA, it's not in New York, it's not Chicago. It's kind of much more behind the scenes and underground. And yeah, I mean, it's a really cool place for people to incubate their good ideas.
It is funny that you bring up The Wire.
Unleash them.
It is funny you bring up The Wire though, just because everywhere we tour around the world, you know,
that's the only thing you ever hear.
That's the only thing. Like they're like, oh, Baltimore, like The Wire, and we're like, we kind of. You know, there are parts like that.
Not everyone sells heroin in Baltimore. You know.
Speak for yourself, bro.
I mean, you got to make some side money, but
yeah,
you know, I'm trying to give it up.
Omar coming.
Omar's coming.
Omar's coming.